Ever wondered why some students get their dream college offers while others don't? A lot hinges on one critical piece, the letter of recommendation. Hi there, I'm Aisha, and in our comprehensive course, we will unlock the secrets of powerful letter of recommendation, whether you are aiming for academic heights or a leap into a professional realm. Getting this right can open doors you didn't even know existed. We will start from scratch, understanding the basics, crafting the perfect LOR, and even overcoming common hurdles like unresponsive recommenders. Did you know a poorly timed or weak LOR could weaken your entire application? Don't let that be you. Join me and let's ensure your recommendations shine as bright as your potential. Ready to make your mark? Dive into our course and see just how far the right words can take you. Click to enroll now and transform your future one recommendation at a time.
Hello and welcome to the course on how to write a letter of recommendation. LoR here. We unlock the secrets to crafting powerful letters of recommendation that will make your university applications shine. So, why is this course a must for you? Think of university applications like a puzzle. You've got your grades, your test scores, your extracurriculars, but there's a piece that brings it all together, adding depth and personality to your application, the letter of recommendation. They're not just formalities, they're endorsements of your character, potential, and achievements. And guess what? We're here to make sure you get the best ones possible. Let's quickly check on the agenda first, in the section Understanding the Basics of LORs. Here, we'll start with the ABCs of LORs. What are they? Why do they matter so much? Who should write them? We'll explore the different types of recommenders, academic, professional, personal, and understand how each plays a unique role in your application. This module is all about laying the groundwork and understanding the big picture. Next, in crafting and submitting the LOR, we will discuss how you ask for a letter. What information should you provide to your recommenders? And once you have that golden letter in hand, what's the best way to submit it? This module is a practical, step-by-step guide to ensure your LORs are as strong and effective as possible. Finally, in advanced strategies and tips, we'll go beyond the basics. We'll tackle common challenges, like what to do if you don't have a close relationship with potential recommenders, and share insider tips to make your LORs stand out. This module is about refining your approach and taking your LORs to the next level. Let us move on to Understanding the Basics of LORs, where we will discuss the definition and importance of LORs in university applications, types of recommenders that include academic, professional, personal, and understanding the role of LORs in the admission process. Let's talk about a magic key that could unlock the doors to prestigious halls of learning, the letter of recommendation, or as we like to call it, the LOR. Now, you might wonder, what's so magical about a letter? Well, imagine you're trying to get into a top university, let's say Harvard Law or MIT's engineering program, and there are thousands of candidates with stellar grades just like you. How do you stand out? Enter the LOR, a narrative of your unique story that goes beyond numbers and into who you are. What's an LOR? An LOR isn't just any letter. It's a crafted endorsement from someone who knows you professionally or academically and can vouch for your abilities and character. Think of it as a highlight reel from a credible source, affirming you've got what it takes. Now, why are LORs so darn important? Imagine two candidates, Alex and Taylor. Both have perfect GPAs and impressive test scores, aiming for a spot at Stanford's computer science program. But Alex's LOR from a Google engineer she interned with tells a story of innovation, leadership, and a knack for problem-solving. Taylor's LOR is generic and lacks specifics. Who do you think has the edge? Let's get real here. Universities, especially Ivy Leagues and top-tier grad schools, want to build a class of diverse, dynamic students. A compelling LOR can be the tiebreaker. For instance, Business programs like Wharton or Booth deeply value LEORs that attest to an applicant's leadership and teamwork. Qualities essential for the next generation of entrepreneurs and CEOs. In fields like medicine, where Johns Hopkins and Mayo Clinic hold the torch, an LOR from a respected physician or researcher can attest to an applicant's hands-on experience and bedside manner, aspects crucial for a future in healthcare. For example, consider Sarah, who applied to Columbia's journalism school. Her LOR from the editor of the local newspaper where she interned didn't just list her tasks. It shared her growth story, from covering small community events to leading a major investigative piece. That narrative turned heads and opened gates. Or take Jordan, aiming for an aerospace engineering slot at Caltech. His mentor at NASA's summer program didn't just endorse his technical skills, but shared anecdotes of Jordan's curiosity-driven innovations that significantly contributed to their research. That lore. It was gold. But it's not only about the past. A powerful LOR speaks to your future potential. When NYU's Tisch School of the Arts looks through applications, they're not just looking for talent, they're looking for promise. The kind that a director or playwright can illuminate in their LOR, pointing to your potential to revolutionize theater or film. Now, how do you ensure your LOR tells the story you want it to? It's about communication. You don't just ask for an LOR, you collaborate on it. Share your goals, your portfolio, and your soul with your recommender. Help them help you. So, a letter of recommendation is more than a letter. It's a strategic piece of your application puzzle, a personal testimony to your fit and future in a course or university. Now that we have understood what a letter of recommendation is, let us now delve into the art of selecting the perfect cast for your personal recommendation blockbuster. The people you choose to pen your LORs are more than just writers, they narrate your academic and professional saga. So, let's see different type of recommenders, such as academic, professional, and personal recommenders, and how to make sure your LORs are as compelling as your own story. Academic recommenders, the scholar's choir. Imagine you're applying to grad school, say, a master's in environmental policy at Yale. Who better to sing your academic praises than those who've seen your intellectual mettle? Academic recommenders, like your college professors or thesis advisor, can attest to your academic performance with gusto. They've seen you tackle complex concepts, spar with scientific quandaries, and emerge victorious with a thesis that could very well be the blueprint for the next green revolution. Let's talk about Maria. She was a standout in her urban planning program, known for her innovative ideas on sustainable development. When she applied to MIT, she didn't just get any professor to write her LOR. She asked the department head who supervised her award-winning project on smart cities. The result, an LOR rich with examples of her scholarly excellence and a ticket to one of the most prestigious tech schools in the world. Professional recommenders are the voice of experience. Let's consider those of you dreaming of an MBA from Stanford, who can share tales of your professional prowess. Supervisors, project leaders, or colleagues who have witnessed your journey from a keen intern to a project leader spearheading innovative market strategies. They are the ones who can speak volumes about your leadership, your collaborative spirit, and your knack for turning challenges into opportunities. Take James, for instance. He didn't just choose any manager from his time at the consulting firm. He asked the partner he assisted during a high-stakes merger. The partner's LOR didn't just highlight James's analytical skills. It offered anecdotes of his exceptional problem-solving abilities under pressure, painting a picture of a future leader in the making. Personal recommenders are. Sometimes what sets you apart isn't just your academic achievements or your professional milestones, it's your human spirit. Personal recommenders like mentors, coaches, or community leaders provide a glimpse into your character. They've seen you organize charity runs, mentor youth, or lead by example. These stories tell admissions committees about your values, your commitment to community, and your potential as a citizen of the world. Consider Alicia, aiming for a role in international relations. Her LOR came from the director of the nonprofit where she dedicated countless hours. The director's heartfelt account of Alicia's contributions and her ability to inspire her peers did more than just describe her, it showcased her as a beacon of change. Now, it's not just about finding recommenders, it's about aligning them with your aspirations. If you're eyeing a specialized program like aerospace engineering at Caltech, your academic recommender should be someone who can speak to your technical and research abilities. For a creative writing MFA at Iowa, a personal recommender might be that novelist who mentored you during your first book's journey. The act of choosing your recommenders is as strategic as a game of chess. Every move counts. Your recommenders must be your champions, chosen not by convenience but by the weight and relevance of their words. The right recommender can turn a good LOR into an extraordinary one, transforming your application from a bundle of papers into a story worth investing in. The role of letters of recommendation, LORs, in the admission process is multifaceted and deeply impactful. LORs serve as a critical tool for admissions committees to gauge an applicant's suitability for their program beyond the quantitative metrics like GPA and test scores. Let's dive into the various ways LORs play a part in admissions. Imagine you've polished your resume, aced the entrance exams, and now it's time to present a holistic view of who you are. And that's where LORs come in. They add depth, color, and character to the black and white of your application documents. When your application lands on the admission officer's desk at, say, the University of Chicago, your LOR acts as a personal introduction. It says, here's who I am beyond the grades. Here's my story. Now, imagine an admissions officer sifting through hundreds of applications. They come across two candidates with nearly identical qualifications. What makes them pause and take a second look? Your LOR. It's where your skills and achievements, mentioned throughout your application, come to life. It's where your professor details how you innovated a new research method during your undergraduate thesis, setting you apart from the crowd. But it's not just about what you've done, it's about who you are. Harvard's admissions aren't just looking for valedictorians, they're looking for future leaders, innovators, and contributors to society. Your LOR gives them a glimpse into your personality and work ethic. It's where your supervisor shares how you took the initiative to lead a volunteer project, demonstrating your commitment and leadership qualities. These letters also provide an external perspective on your potential for success. For instance, when applying to MIT, an LOR from an internship supervisor who praises your innovative problem-solving skills and technical prowess can do wonders. It's a testament to your ability to thrive in a rigorous academic environment and beyond. But how do universities assess if you're the right fit for their program? Again, LORs come into play. Say you're applying to a specialized program like environmental law at Stanford. A letter from a legal professional who's seen your passion for environmental advocacy can solidify your fit for the program, showing you're not just capable but also deeply aligned with the program's goals. Let's talk about practical examples. Anna is applying to the Tisch School of the Arts. Her LOR from an acclaimed filmmaker for whom she interned doesn't just validate her technical skills, it also illustrates her creative vision and storytelling prowess, providing a narrative that resonates with Tisch's ethos of nurturing originality. Or consider Liam, eyeing a spot at the Wharton School. His LOR from the CEO of the nonprofit where he worked captures his entrepreneurial spirit and his exceptional ability to mobilize resources for social causes, echoing Wharton's emphasis on leadership and social impact. And it's not just about individual programs. Whole universities have personalities and values they uphold. An LOR that aligns with these values can make all the difference. Your LORs are not mere formalities. They are endorsements, affirmations, and narratives that propel your application from the realm of potential to the land of opportunity. They bridge the gap between your past experiences and future potential, providing a three-dimensional view of your capabilities, character, and fit for the program you aspire to join. Now that you have understood the role of LORs in the admission process, we will move ahead with building genuine relationships with the recommenders. So, let's talk about how to do that. First off think about the professors and supervisors in your life. You know, the ones whose classes you actually enjoyed or those who gave you that first break at work. Building a rapport with these individuals early on is crucial. It's not about being their pet, but about showing genuine interest in the subject or work they do. Ask questions, share insights, and show that you're there to learn and grow, not just earn credits or a paycheck. Now, just being present isn't enough. You've got to engage actively. Maybe that means contributing to discussions in class or taking on extra responsibilities at work. Show that you're not just there to punch the clock, you're there to make a difference. And speaking of making a difference, let's talk about mentorship and collaborative projects. These aren't just resume boosters, they're opportunities to show what you're made of. Seek out projects that align with your interests, and don't be afraid to ask for guidance. Whether it's a research project, a community service initiative, or leading a new proposal at work, these are the moments where you shine. Now, here's a big one: reliability, initiative, and passion. These aren't just buzzwords, they're the currency in the realm of recommendations. Meet your deadlines, bring new ideas to the table, and do it all because you love what you're doing, or at least show that you care deeply about it. People notice when you put your heart into your work. Feedback is your friend. Request it, cherish it, and use it to get better. When you show that you're open to feedback, it sends a message that you're committed to growth. And guess what? People love to support someone who's on a path to self-improvement. Here's something you might not hear often. Keep in touch, and not just when you need something. Share updates about your life, ask about theirs, and keep the lines of communication open. When the time comes to ask for that LOR, it won't be out of the blue, it will be a natural next step in an ongoing conversation. So, there you have it. Building relationships with potential recommenders is about more than just securing a letter. It's about creating a network of support that will see you through your journey. Remember, the strongest LORs come from genuine connections. So go out there, engage, contribute, and connect. Your future self will thank you for it. Now that we discussed about building relationships with potential recommenders, there's an important step you shouldn't skip: prepping your resume and cataloging your achievements. Let's walk through how you can put your best foot forward. First things first, your resume isn't just a piece of paper, it's the story of your journey so far. Start with the basics, your education and work experience. But don't just list them, make them pop. For each role or degree, highlight what you learned and how you excelled. Did you boost sales at your summer job? Did you master a tricky algorithm in a course? These details matter. Now, let's talk trophies. And by trophies, I mean your academic accolades. Did you snag a spot on the dean's list? Maybe you were the proud recipient of a prestigious scholarship. These honors tell a recommender and the world, really, that you're not just playing the game, you're winning it. Professional experiences are your proving ground. Internships, projects, jobs, these aren't just bullet points, they're proof of your hustle. Elaborate on what you did, who you worked with, and what outcomes you drove. The more specific you are, the better. Think numbers, think impact, think growth. But hey, you're not just a brain on legs, you're a whole person. So, extracurricular activities, heck yes. Leadership roles, volunteer work, the time you organized a community cleanup, these show you're a team player, a leader, and someone who steps up. Now, for those of you in creative or technical fields, a portfolio or work samples can be worth 1,000 words. It's your highlight reel. Design projects, writing samples, code snippets. Whatever tells your story best, include it. Let your work speak for itself. Last but not least, keep a brag file. A collection of all the attaboys and attagirls you've ever received. Testimonials, thank you notes, performance reviews, these are gold. They're independent proof that you're as awesome as you say you are. So, there you have it. Whether you're requesting an LOR for college, grad school, or that dream job, taking the time to prepare your resume and achievements is key. It gives your recommenders a full-color, high-def picture of who you are and what you've accomplished. And trust me, that can make all the difference. Let's talk about something that's as crucial as your personal statement when you're applying to universities: understanding their specific requirements for letters of recommendation LORs. You see, every university is unique, like a snowflake, and they all have their own set of rules and preferences for LORs. So grab a seat, and let's have a chat about how to navigate these waters. First up, research is your best friend. And no, I'm not just talking about a quick Google search. Dive into each university's admissions page like you're on a treasure hunt. Find out what they really want in an LOR. Some might want a detailed story, others just the facts. Now about those forms and systems. Some universities are old school. They want everything on paper, mailed in with a nice stamp. Others are living in 3023 with fancy online portals that do everything but make you coffee. Get to know these systems like the back of your hand. When it comes to the type of LORs, it's like choosing your Pokemon. You've got to know what you're working with. Is it academic, professional, or personal? For instance, MIT might love to hear about your science fair victories, while an art school like RISD wants to know about your creative spirit from a mentor who's seen your art evolve. Deadlines, deadlines, deadlines. They're the bane of a procrastinator's existence. Miss these, and your application might as well be a paper airplane. Each university has its own calendar, and it's on you to mark those dates in red on your wall, phone, forehead, wherever it takes to remember. Limits, they're not just for calculus. Universities often cap how many LORs they want. Sending 10 letters when they only asked for 2, that's a rookie mistake. It shows you can't follow instructions, and trust me, that's not a good look. Tailoring your LOR requests is like writing a love letter. You've got to speak their language. If a program digs community service and you've got hours logged at the local shelter, make sure your recommender knows to put that front and center. All right, you got all that, great. Remember, applying to universities is like launching your personal brand. Every piece, especially your LORs, needs to be on point, showcasing the best you. So, do your homework, get to know what each university wants, and give them exactly that. It's your time to shine, so make those LORs count. Now let's talk about the timeline for requesting letters of recommendation LORs. You might think it's just about asking someone to jot down a few nice things about you, but there's a bit more to it. It's about timing and giving folks the space to put together something that's going to make you stand out. Here's how you map it out, step by step. Imagine it's the big game, and you're in the locker room prepping. That's you, 6 months before your application's due. This is when you start planning. You're getting your list of MVPs, the people who know your game the best. Think about the professors, bosses, or mentors who've seen you in action. Now, fast forward to 3 months before the deadline. This is go time. You're reaching out to your chosen few, laying out the plan, and asking if they're on board to vouch for you. It's a big ask, so you do it with respect, and you give them the lowdown on why their voice matters. 2 months out, you're passing the ball, giving them the materials they need. That's your resume, details about the programs you're eyeing, and maybe some pointers on what you'd love them to highlight. You're making it as easy as possible for them to sing your praises. 1 month before D-Day, you're checking in, a gentle nudge, a friendly reminder, just to make sure you're both on track. It's like running the last few drills before the game. You're making sure everyone's ready and knows the plays. 2 weeks out, it's the 2-minute warning. You're reaching out again, but this time it's to confirm they've sent those letters off. It's about peace of mind, knowing you've got everything lined up and you're ready for the big day. And finally, 1 week before the deadline, you're in the end zone. You're making sure all those LORs have hit their mark. It's the final check that all your hard work and the generosity of your recommenders has paid off. So there you have it. Asking for an LOR isn't just about the ask, it's about giving folks the time to help you shine. It's about making sure you've got a game plan and that everyone's playing their part. And when it's done right, those LEORs can be the thing that takes your application from the middle of the pack to the front of the line. Now go get 'em, champ. Now that we have understood the timelines for requesting LORs and why is it important to start planning early now, let's talk about time and unpack why early preparation for requesting letters of recommendation LORs is a game changer. Think of it as laying the foundation for a skyscraper. You need a solid base before reaching for the stars. Let's get into a script that covers this with a conversational spin. Imagine you're planning the ultimate road trip. You wouldn't just jump in the car and go, right, you'd map out your route, check your vehicle, and make sure you've got all the snacks. That's exactly what early preparation for your LORs is like. It's about setting yourself up for success, giving you and your recommenders a clear path to follow, no detours or last-minute gas station runs. So, why start early? Well, for starters, it's all about relationships. Like growing a garden, you need to tend to them way before you actually need the fruits. Reaching out to potential recommenders months in advance gives you time to show them your progress, share your goals, and maybe even reminisce about that group project you aced under their guidance. And here's the kicker, giving your recommenders plenty of time is like giving an artist a blank canvas. They've got space to think, reflect, and then create a masterpiece about you. It's not just a letter they're writing, it's a portrait of your potential, and they're adding all the right strokes to make you stand out. We all know life can throw some curveballs. Maybe your recommender gets an out-of-the-blue sabbatical, or their dog decides to eat their laptop. Yup, it happens. Building in a buffer period means you're ready for any hiccups along the way. It's the academic version of carrying a spare tire. Early requests aren't just about logistics, they're a nod of respect to your recommender's time. It says, you get that they're not just sitting around waiting to write about how awesome you are, although let's be real, you are pretty awesome. Now, the first draft is rarely perfect. By kicking things off early, you've got time for the back and forth, the edits, and the polish that turns a good LOR into a wow, we need this student lore. Finally, it's about your peace of mind. Scrambling at the last minute can lead to mistakes, like sending the wrong draft or forgetting to include your resume. Getting a head start keeps the stress levels low and the process smooth, letting you focus on other parts of your application. You'll sleep better, and hey, that's worth its weight in gold. So there you have it. Early preparation for your LORs isn't just a step in the process, it's the foundation. It's showing you're serious about your future, and you value the people who are helping you get there. Start early, build those relationships, and give everyone the time they need to help launch you to your next big adventure. Trust me, when you open that acceptance letter, you'll know it was all worth it. Now, moving on to when to request the LORs, are you thinking about when to ask for those all-important letters of recommendation LORs? Well, let me walk you through different scenarios with a playbook that'll make sure you're ready at just the right time. Let's discuss case by case. Our first case, the early decision, hopeful picture. This, you've got your eye on a university, and you know you want to be there more than anywhere else. Early decision is your fast track. But here's the deal, you gotta act fast. Before you even start that summer job or hit the beach, get those LOR requests out. Professors are about to dip into their summer plans, and you want your future alma mater to see your application first. Early decision waits for no one, and neither should your LORs. Second case, the aspiring MBA candidate. All right, you're in the professional world climbing that ladder, but you're ready for the next rung in MBA. The moment you decide that grad school is in your crosshairs, you need to start reaching out. Those busy bees you call bosses and mentors. They've got a lot on their plates. Give them the heads up early so they can talk you up to the skies when it's crunch time. Third case, the gap year adventurer. Taking a year off, brilliant. It's a world of experience. But don't let your connections cool off. Keep in touch, share your adventures, and when the time comes to hunker down and apply, your potential recommenders are still in the loop. They'll have fresh, exciting material from your gap year exploits to make your LORs sing. Fourth case, the last-minute surprise. Life's full of surprises. Say a scholarship or program pops up out of the blue, it's go time, right now. Don't hesitate. Reach out to those mentors who know you best. They've seen what you're capable of, and they can whip up a letter that'll catch the committee's eye, even on a tight deadline. Fifth case, the transfer trailblazer. So you're looking to shift gears and transfer. The moment you decide, put the word out. Transferring is like rearranging the pieces of your academic puzzle, and you want your LORs to fit perfectly into the new picture. Quick action here means you've got everything ready to slide into place at your new institution. Sixth case, the scholarship seeker. And for the grand finale scholarships, those deadlines don't play around. Align your LOR requests with those critical dates. Scholarships are like the golden snitch of academia. Catch them if you can, but you'll need fast flyers, or in this case, fast writers, to back you up. In every case, remember, an LOR is more than just a formality. It's someone putting their stamp of approval on your dreams. Whether it's planning ahead or reaching out at the 11th hour, make sure you communicate clearly, respectfully, and with enthusiasm. After all, these letters can open doors you've only knocked on so far. Get ready, get set, and get those recommendations. Now that we have understood the basics of letter of recommendation, let's get into the craft of creating and submitting a letter of recommendation LOR. Think of it as a mix between art and strategy. You need the right blend of personal touch and tactical moves. With crafting and submitting your LOR, you're in the final stretch of your application journey, and it's time to tackle the lore. This isn't just any old letter, it's a personal endorsement, your backstage pass to the show of your dreams, whether it's college, grad school, or that exclusive fellowship. We're diving into the craft of requesting a letter of recommendation, not just any letter, but one that swings doors open. Creating a persuasive request for a letter of recommendation LOR is an art in itself. It's about combining warmth with professionalism and detail with brevity. This isn't a task to be taken lightly, so let's break it down step by step. Firstly, the personal touch. When you begin your email or letter, start as if you're stepping into a conversation, not a transaction. Address your recommender by name. If you've got a history, bring it up. Did they inspire you in class, mentor you through a project? This isn't just about nostalgia, it's about context. It's like saying, hey, remember how well we worked together? Could you tell that story? Secondly, the purpose and clarity. Now hit the heart of the matter. Be upfront about what you're asking and why. There's no room for mystery here. You are on a mission, and they're potentially a key ally. Make it clear that you're not just collecting letters like baseball cards. You need their specific insight to help pave your path forward. Thirdly, your highlight reel. This is where you shine. Bring up achievements and experiences that resonate with the essence of the recommendation. Maybe you aced a class project, led a volunteer group, or interned at a company that sparked your passion. This isn't bragging, it's painting a picture of a candidate who's going places and fast. Fourth, gratitude in advance. Never underestimate the power of a thank you. Expressing your appreciation for their time and effort up front shows humility and respect. It's saying, I know you're busy, and this means the world to me. Fifth, give them the details they need on the program or opportunity you're eyeing. What is it? Why does it excite you? And most crucially, why does their endorsement matter? Help them see what you see, a future that's brighter with their support. Sixth, the deadline dance. Deadlines are the drumbeat to the dance of applications. Be clear about when you need the LOR by, and always pad the time for safety. Offer a deadline that's a bit ahead of the actual due date to ensure you're not sweating bullets at the last minute. Lastly, the offer to collaborate end with an invitation to chat more about it. Maybe over coffee, a Zoom call, or a quick meeting after class. It's about partnership. You're not just asking them to do you a favor, you're offering to make it as smooth as possible, and that's how you do it. By the end, you've not only requested an LOR, you've crafted a request that's respectful, engaging, and showcases the kind of student or professional you are. One that they'd be proud to recommend. So go on, get to writing, and remember it's not just a letter you're asking for. It's a stepping stone to your future. Moving on to the do's and don'ts in communicating with recommenders. When it comes to communicating with your recommenders for a letter of recommendation LOR, there's a right way and a not-so-right way to do things. This is about ensuring a smooth experience for both you and your recommenders. Let's walk through the do's and don'ts, with a focus on understanding the nuances of this critical interaction. Be polite and professional in all communications. This is non-negotiable. Every email, call, or message should be laced with courtesy. You're not texting a buddy about a movie, you're asking a professional to vouch for your future. Use formal greetings, clear language, and close with gratitude. It's about showing that you value their time and contribution. Provide specific instances or achievements for the recommender to mention. Imagine your recommender's mind is a vast ocean of memories. Your job is to identify the specific instances that will make your LOR shine. This could be the project you aced, the initiative you led, or any challenge you overcame. Provide these pearls so your recommender can thread them into a dazzling narrative. Offer to provide any additional information they may need. Your recommenders aren't mind readers, and they're not about to make a deep dive into your LinkedIn profile. Offer them a lifeline, your resume, your transcripts, a list of accomplishments, or even a draft of your personal statement. It's about equipping them to write the best LOR possible. Don't be vague in your request or assume the recommender will say yes. Vagueness is the enemy of a compelling LOR. Don't leave your recommender adrift in ambiguity. Be clear about what you're asking for and why they're the right person to help. And never, ever assume they'll say yes, it's presumptuous. Request, don't demand. Don't forget to follow up with a thank you note after they agree. Gratitude is the glue that keeps relationships strong. A thank you note isn't just good manners, it reinforces the relationship and acknowledges the effort your recommender is putting in for you. It's a simple gesture that can leave a lasting impression. Don't pressure the recommender or send too many follow-up emails. No one likes to be hounded. It's okay to follow up, in fact, it's wise. But there's a fine line between being thorough and being a thorn in their side. Space out your follow-ups and keep them light. You're giving a nudge, not a shove. Remember, the way you communicate with your recommenders reflects on you as much as the content of the LOR itself. It's about mutual respect, clear communication, and a touch of tact. Keep these do's and don'ts in mind, and you'll not only secure a great LOR, but also nurture relationships that could last well beyond this current step in your academic or professional journey. Let's talk about providing your recommenders with the right tools and guidance to write an outstanding letter of recommendation LOR for you. This is about making their job easier so they can make you shine on paper. Here's your step-by-step guide to ensure you're providing everything they need. The resume CV is your academic and professional snapshot. Think of your resume or CV as your highlight reel. It's the first thing you should hand over to your recommender. This document isn't just a list of your experiences, it's a story of your growth. So, make sure it's updated, neat, and as comprehensive as possible without turning into a novel. Remember, you're giving them the dots to connect so they can draw a vivid picture of your trajectory. Personal statement essays is your voice and vision. Your personal statement or essays are where your voice should come through loud and clear. Share these with your recommender to give them a peek into your aspirations, passions, and the why behind your journey. It helps them craft a narrative that's in harmony with your own, reinforcing the message you're trying to convey to the admissions committee. Coursework and grades is your academic foundations. If your recommender is someone from your academic circle, like a professor, supplying them with a list of your coursework and grades can be incredibly helpful. It can jog their memory about your performance and participation, and they might even pull out anecdotes about your academic prowess that you didn't even think to mention. Submission guidelines, forms, or links is the nuts and bolts. Every university or program has its own quirks when it comes to LOR submission. Don't let your recommender get lost in the maze. Provide clear instructions, whether it's a link to an online portal or a detailed explanation of how to submit a physical letter. Your job is to make this as foolproof as possible. Points or characteristics to highlight is your unique qualities. While your recommenders know you well, they might not know which of your many stellar qualities to focus on. Give them a heads up on what the university or program values. Is it leadership, innovation, community service? Guide them on what to highlight, and you'll ensure your LOR hits all the right notes. A note of thanks and availability is the final touch. Never underestimate the power of a thank you. Let your recommenders know just how much you appreciate their support, and open the door for further communication. Tell them you're all ears if they have questions or need more info. It shows you're in this together. By following these steps, you're not just asking for a favor, you're building a bridge. You're giving your recommenders a clear path to follow, which leads to a LOR that's not just good, but potentially the golden ticket to your next big opportunity. It's all about preparation, clarity, and respect for the process and the person you're asking to help you on your way. Moving on next to the elements of strong LORs. When it's time to get a letter of recommendation LOR, you want it to be a strong one. But what makes an LOR not just good, but great? What elements transform it from a polite nod to a resounding endorsement? Let's break down the key components that will make any LOR stand out and truly speak to the quality of the candidate it's supporting. First component is a strong opening is the first impression. Just like the opening scene of a movie, the start of an LOR sets the tone. A strong opening does more than just introduce, it advocates for the candidate right from the get-go. It should grab the reader's attention and announce the recommender's enthusiastic support. This isn't the time for lukewarm language. It's the recommender's chance to say, listen up, I've got something important to say about this candidate. Second component is specific examples, which is the proof in the pudding. An LOR filled with vague praises is like a sandwich without the filling. Unconvincing and forgettable. Specific examples are the meat of your LOR. They're concrete proof of a candidate's skills and achievements. Did the candidate lead a challenging project? Did they overcome an obstacle with creativity? These stories need to be told with enough detail to provide a vivid snapshot of the candidate's abilities in action. Next component is comparisons is the benchmark. How does the candidate stand out? By comparing them to their peers, a recommender can showcase what makes the candidate exceptional. But this isn't about putting others down, it's about highlighting how the candidate shines brighter. Maybe they're in the top 5% of students the recommender has taught, or perhaps they're the most dedicated employee a manager has supervised in a decade. It's all about context. Let's now discuss personal anecdotes, which is the human touch. Numbers and achievements are crucial, but they don't tell the whole story. Personal anecdotes add depth, showcasing the candidate's character and work ethic. This is where the recommender gets personal, sharing how the candidate's attitude brightens the office or how their commitment to volunteering demonstrates their values. It makes the candidate human, relatable, and memorable. Now let's see a reinforcing closing, which is the seal of approval. A strong LOR comes full circle with a closing that leaves no doubt about the recommender's high opinion of the candidate. It's a final, powerful endorsement that says, I believe in this candidate, and you should too. The closing isn't just a goodbye, it's a mic drop. Last component is the contact information, which is the open door. Including contact information isn't just about ticking a box, it's an open invitation for further inquiry. It tells the reader, I stand behind what I've said, and I'm here if you want to know more. It's a sign of transparency and confidence. By weaving these elements together, A recommender can craft an LOR that doesn't just list qualities, but tells the candidate's story. It's a narrative that combines skill, character, and potential into a compelling argument for why the candidate deserves the opportunity they're seeking. With these components, an LOR becomes not just a letter of support, but a powerful tool in the candidate's application arsenal. Let's understand what universities are looking for in a letter of recommendation LOR. This isn't just about singing a candidate's praises. It's about presenting a multidimensional portrait that aligns with the values and expectations of higher education institutions. Here's a detailed script explaining the key elements that universities usually look for in a LOR. Intellectual curiosity and potential. Imagine a university as a garden. They're looking for seeds with the potential to grow into towering trees. They want to see evidence of a student's intellectual curiosity, someone who not only absorbs information but asks questions that even professors haven't pondered. The LOR should paint a picture of a candidate as a thinker, a dreamer, and a relentless pursuer of knowledge. Contributions to academic or professional communities. Universities are communities, not just campuses. They thrive on individuals who contribute more than they take. So, an LOR should highlight how a candidate has added value to their previous academic or professional settings. Did they tutor fellow students, lead a seminar series spearhead, a community project? It's about showcasing the candidate as a giver, a doer, and a creator of positive change. Suitability for the specific program. Not every brilliant mind is suited for every brilliant program. An LOR should make it crystal clear why the candidate is the perfect fit for the specific course or field they're applying to. It should touch on the synergy between the candidate's skills, interests, and the program's focus. It's like fitting a key into a lock. The LOR should click with the program's needs. Endorsement of soft skills. Hard skills get you in the game, but soft skills make you the MVP. Universities are on the lookout for leaders, collaborators, and communicators. An LOR should provide anecdotes and examples of the candidate's soft skills in action. Maybe they rallied a team under a tight deadline, or mediated a conflict with empathy and intelligence. These stories tell of a candidate who can not only survive, but thrive in a university setting. Resilience, adaptability, and growth mindset. The path of higher education isn't always smooth. There will be challenges, setbacks, and curveballs. An LOR should testify to a candidate's resilience and adaptability. It's about illustrating their ability to stand back up, dust off their books, and adapt their strategies. It speaks to a growth mindset, an essential ingredient for success in any rigorous academic environment, an overall narrative that aligns with the candidate's application story. Finally, an LOR isn't a standalone document. It's part of a larger narrative. It should complement the candidate's application, echoing their personal statements and reinforcing the themes of their essays. It's about cohesiveness and consistency, ensuring that the candidate's story is told with the same thread, weaving through every part of their application. In crafting an LOR, each of these elements combines to form a compelling argument for a candidate's admission. They're not just checkboxes, they're brushstrokes that create a complete picture of a promising student ready to take on the academic world. So, when you're discussing an LOR with a recommender or considering how to guide them, keep these key elements in mind to ensure the letter not only meets, but exceeds the university's expectations. Let's delve into the anatomy of sample letters of recommendation LORs to understand what makes them compelling. Analyzing these samples can provide invaluable insights into crafting an LOR that resonates with admissions committees. So get comfortable, and let's break down the key elements you should be looking for in sample LORs. Understanding effective structures and language. When you pick up a sample LOR, notice its skeleton and how it's structured. The best LoRs often follow a narrative arc, beginning with an introduction that establishes the recommender's credentials and relationship to the candidate, a body that delves into details and examples, and a conclusion that reaffirms the recommender's support. Pay attention to the language used. It should be formal yet warm, professional but personal. Look for phrases that are assertive, and specific language that is too generic could dilute the impact of the recommendation. Key phrases that convey confidence. As you read, highlight key phrases that show the recommender's confidence in the candidate. Phrases such as "I highly recommend" without reservation, or with great enthusiasm. These aren't just pleasantries, they're power statements that can significantly influence the reader's perception of the candidate. Highlighting specific achievements and traits. The hallmark of an effective LoR is how it showcases the candidate's specific achievements and traits. Look for how the recommender integrates stories of the candidate's successes, the challenges they've overcome, and the unique skills they possess. This could include leadership in team settings, innovative solutions in projects, or contributions to community service. These anecdotes provide texture and depth to the LoR and are the evidence that supports the recommender's claims. Addressing potential weaknesses. No candidate is perfect, and sometimes recommenders may need to address weaknesses. Analyze how this is done in a way that's constructive and even positive. A skilled recommender might frame a weakness as a growth opportunity, showing how the candidate has worked to improve in a certain area. This candidness can enhance the credibility of the LoR. Complementing other parts of the application. An LoR shouldn't exist in a vacuum. It should complement and reinforce the candidate's personal statement, essays, and CV. Look for how the LoR aligns with the overall narrative of the candidate's application. Does it echo key themes, goals, and aspirations? It should add a new dimension to the application, providing insights that the candidate might not have been able to convey themselves, using sample LoRs as inspiration, not templates. Finally, while sample LoRs can be incredibly helpful as inspiration, they should never be copied. Each LoR should be a unique testament to the individual candidate. Instead of mimicking, use samples to spark ideas for structure, content, and language that can be adapted to reflect the true nature of the candidate's experiences and relationship with the recommender. By analyzing sample LoRs through these lenses, you can gain a clear understanding of the elements that contribute to a strong endorsement. This analysis isn't just academic, it's a practical tool for crafting an LoR that's not only well-written, but truly effective. Remember, each word and sentence in an LoR carries weight, and understanding these subtleties can make all the difference in an application. The submission of a letter of recommendation LoR is a critical step in your application process, and doing it right means understanding and respecting the nuances of submission etiquette. Let's break down the steps and best practices to ensure your LoR submission is as smooth as the prose within them. Knowing the preferred method of submission. Each university or program may have its own preferred method of LoR submission. It's vital to do your homework and understand whether they want these letters sent digitally through a portal, emailed directly, or mailed in an old-fashioned envelope. Your task is to gather these details early on, so you're not scrambling at the last minute. It's about precision. Even the most glowing LoR can lose its luster if it's not submitted correctly. Respecting the recommender's preferences. Some recommenders may be tech-savvy and prefer the efficiency of online submissions, while others may stick to traditional mail. It's your job to ask and respect their preference. This consideration shows your respect for their time and comfort and ensures they can focus on the content of their letter, not the stress of the delivery method, ensuring accuracy in all submission. Details. Attention to detail is paramount. Verify every form, every email address, and every postal address. Any error, no matter how small, can derail your LOR's delivery, potentially compromising your application. Double and triple checking these details might seem tedious, but it's a crucial step in safeguarding your future. Acknowledging the recommender's effort once your recommender has completed their part. It's time for a thank you note. Whether it's a handwritten card or a thoughtful email, this gesture is about more than good manners. It's a reflection of your character and appreciation for their support. It's a simple act that can leave a lasting impression and maintain a positive relationship. Keeping the recommender informed. Your recommenders have invested in your future by writing you an LOR. Keep them in the loop about the progress of your application. Whether it's a quick update or a joyful announcement of acceptance, it lets them share in the journey they've helped you embark on. It also reinforces the value of their contribution. Showing gratitude. Regardless of the outcome. Finally, remember that your application's success or failure does not dictate the value of the effort put in by your recommenders. Show gratitude regardless of the outcome. If you're accepted, share the good news and thank them for playing a role in your success. If not, still reach out to express your appreciation for their support. It's about building and maintaining relationships that extend beyond the immediate goal of your application. By keeping these points in mind, you can navigate the LOR submission process with grace and efficiency. It's not just about getting the letter in, it's about doing so in a way that reflects your respect for the process, the people who support you, and the institutions you're applying to. This is the part of the application process that tests your organizational skills and your ability to handle formal procedures, skills that are invaluable in both academic and professional settings. When it's time to submit your letter of recommendation LOR, you're faced with two primary methods, electronic and postal. Each has its own set of advantages and drawbacks, and understanding these can help you choose the most suitable option for your situation. Let's break down the pros and cons of each method, so you can make an informed decision on how to send your all-important LORs. Electronic submission. The speed of light has its own advantages and disadvantages. First, let's look at the advantages. Speed electronic submissions are lightning fast. With a click, your LOR can be whizzing its way to the admissions office, crossing continents in seconds. Tracking. Most electronic systems will provide confirmation of receipt. You won't be left wondering whether your LOR reached its destination. Convenience. You can submit from anywhere, anytime. No need to run to the post office or worry about business hours. Efficiency. Electronic submissions often go directly into the university's application system, making for a seamless integration with your application. Moving on to the disadvantages of electronic submission technical issues. Compatibility with the institution's system can be a hiccup. If a file won't upload or a system crashes, it can be panic-inducing. Impersonality. Some argue that electronic submissions lack the personal touch of a signed and sealed envelope. Security concerns. Cybersecurity is a concern ensuring that sensitive information is submitted securely is paramount. The other way of submitting the letter of recommendation is the postal submission, which is the tangible touch. It has its own advantages and disadvantages. Let's look at the advantages first. Tactile impression. For some, a physical letter can seem more personal and substantial. Certain institutions or recommenders may require or prefer postal submissions. A well-established postal service can be incredibly reliable, with options for insured and registered delivery. Moving on to the disadvantages. Speed postal submissions can't compete with the instantaneous nature of electronic submissions. For planning. You'll need to plan ahead to account for delivery times, which can be unpredictable. While you can use trackable mailing services, they're not always foolproof and can be more expensive. If you're in a remote area, accessing postal services can be more challenging. In choosing between electronic and postal submissions, weigh the pros and cons in relation to your specific situation. If your institution and recommender are comfortable with digital, it might be the best route for its speed and efficiency. However, if the traditional method is preferred or required, make sure you leave ample time and use reliable services. Remember, the method of submission should enhance the ease and effectiveness of delivering your LOR, not become an obstacle. Consider your options, consult with your recommenders, and choose the method that aligns with the preferences of all parties involved, including the receiving institutions. Your goal is a smooth submission process that ensures your LORs contribute positively to your application, showcasing your suitability and readiness for the program you aspire to join. Following up with your recommenders and universities is an essential step in the application process, ensuring that your letters of recommendation LORs have been successfully submitted and received. Let's explore the nuances of this process to ensure you handle it with the right balance of persistence and politeness. Gentle reminders to recommenders. As deadlines approach, it's both appropriate and advisable to send a gentle reminder to your recommenders. This should be done respectfully, acknowledging their busy schedules. It's not about pestering, but about providing a courteous nudge. A simple email stating, "I wanted to remind you about the upcoming deadline for the LOR. Please let me know if there's anything else you need from me," can suffice. Confirming with universities. Once the deadline has passed, it's prudent to confirm with the universities or programs to which you've applied that your LORs have been received. This can often be done through application portals, but a follow-up email to the admissions office can also be effective. The key is to ensure that your application is complete without being overly intrusive. Patience with processing times. Remember that universities and colleges receive a deluge of materials and may have varying processing times. Patience is essential here. If you've confirmed submission from your recommender and the university hasn't acknowledged receipt, give it a week or two before inquiring. Open communication lines. Keep the lines of communication open, both with your recommenders and the universities. If there are any updates or changes to your application, or if you decide to withdraw or defer, let all relevant parties know. This helps maintain transparent relationships and shows your professionalism. Respecting the recommender's time. While follow-ups are important, they should be measured. Don't send excessive reminders or inquiries that may annoy your recommender or the admissions office. A follow-up is typically warranted if there's been no acknowledgement within a week or two after the expected completion or receipt of the LOR. Expressing gratitude. Finally, regardless of whether you get into the program or not, thank your recommenders for their effort. They've invested time and thought into supporting your aspirations, and that deserves recognition. A thoughtful thank you card or email after they've submitted your LOR can go a long way in showing your appreciation. Following up is about being thorough and respectful. It's about ensuring that your application is complete while respecting the time and efforts of those involved. This is not just about ensuring your LORs are in place, it's also about fostering positive relationships that may continue to benefit you beyond the current application cycle. Expressing gratitude to your recommenders is more than just good manners. It's an important step in maintaining your professional relationships and acknowledging the valuable role they've played in your journey. Here's how you can show your appreciation: following the best practices. A personalized thank you note goes a long way. Tailor your message to each recommender, mentioning specific aspects of the LOR they wrote for you or recalling particular instances where their guidance was invaluable. This could be done via email or, even better, with a handwritten note. Express genuine gratitude. Be sincere in your thanks. Let them know that you understand the effort it takes to write a detailed and supportive LOR. You might say something like, "I truly appreciate the time you took to write a recommendation for me. Your support means a lot to me." Application updates. Keep your recommenders updated on the outcome of your applications. Whether you get accepted or not, let them know. For instance, I wanted to share the great news. I was accepted into the program. Your support was a significant part of my application. Small gestures of appreciation. While not mandatory, a small gesture can be a warm way to say thank you. This could be a gift card to their favorite coffee shop or a book you think they would enjoy. The key is to ensure that the gesture is appropriate and professional. Maintaining contact. Stay in touch with your recommenders after the application process is over. They will likely be interested in your progress and could be valuable mentors as you progress in your education or career. An occasional update or inquiry about their well-being can keep the relationship strong. Acknowledging their role in your success. As you move forward in your career or education, continue to acknowledge the role your recommenders have played. For example, as I reflect on my first year at university, I am reminded of how your guidance helped me get here. Next steps and continuous relationship building. Look at the recommendation process as the beginning, not the end, of your professional relationship with your recommenders. As you grow and achieve new milestones, your recommenders will appreciate knowing their efforts contributed to your success, and they will likely be your champions for years to come. In crafting these messages, keep the tone warm and appreciative, and make sure each message is as individual as the relationship you have with each recommender. Remember, a good thank you is about recognizing the contribution of your recommenders to your academic and professional narrative. Now that we have understood crafting and submitting the LOR and the best practices to thank the recommenders and steps in following up with the universities after submitting the letter of recommendation, let's move on to our next segment, that is advanced strategies and tips. In this section, we will discuss advanced strategies and tips that can transform a standard letter of recommendation LOR into an outstanding one. These insights are particularly beneficial for those who aim to leave a lasting impression on the admissions committee or potential employers. Hey everyone! Today we're going to tackle a topic that often causes much anxiety for students and professionals alike, getting those all-important letters of recommendation. Now, while it may seem daunting, with a bit of strategy and understanding, you can turn this challenge into an opportunity to showcase your strengths and forge deeper connections with mentors. Let's dive in. Early engagement is the first hurdle, is often the non-response from potential recommenders. The key here is anticipation. Reach out early, I'm talking months before your deadline. This not only shows respect for their time, but also gives you a buffer if they're slow to respond. Next is backup plans. Always have a plan B, C, and even D. Life is unpredictable, and so are people's availability and willingness to help. When you select your potential recommenders, rank them and approach them one by one. This way, you're not scrambling at the last minute. Polite persistence. If you've sent an initial request and haven't heard back in a week or two, it's perfectly fine to send a follow-up. Frame it politely. Express understanding of their busy schedule and gently reiterate the importance of their recommendation for your future. Relationship reassessment. Silence can be telling. If you've followed up a couple of times with no response, it may be time to reassess that particular relationship. It's a tough pill to swallow, but not everyone you respect will have the capacity or willingness to write you a recommendation, and that's okay. Mentorship guidance. If you find yourself at a dead end, turn to an advisor or mentor. They can offer you perspective and advice, perhaps even suggest alternative recommenders that you hadn't considered. amplifying your letters of recommendation when your experience or relationships aren't as robust as you'd like. It's a common concern, but not an insurmountable one. Emphasizing personal qualities. Your character traits can speak volumes about your potential. When requesting LORs, encourage your recommenders to focus on your dedication, curiosity, work ethic, and ability to learn quickly. These intrinsic qualities can often outweigh years of experience. Leveraging volunteer work and mentorships. Don't underestimate the power of volunteer work or informal mentorships. They often provide rich material for recommenders to draw from, showcasing your commitment to growth and community involvement. Diverse perspectives. Seek out individuals from various aspects of your life who can provide a holistic view of your character and abilities. This could be a supervisor from a part-time job, a leader of a volunteer group, or a professor from a course where you excelled. Honest conversations. Transparency is key. If you're relatively new to your field or don't have a long list of professional contacts, be upfront about it. Explain your situation and why you value their endorsement, and provide context that will help them write a compelling LOR. By understanding these nuances and best practices in requesting LORs, you can streamline the process, mitigate stress, and increase your chances of getting strong endorsements. Remember, it's not just about getting that letter in hand, it's about cultivating relationships and presenting yourself as a professional worthy of recommendation. We will move on to customizing LORs for multiple applications. Detailing. Each application inform your recommenders about the nuances of each application. Share with them the program's values, desired qualifications, and any particular emphasis they place on certain experiences or traits. Highlighting targeted qualities. Different programs may prioritize different qualities. Discuss with your recommenders how to bring forward the qualities each program is seeking, whether it's leadership, innovation, or community service. Relevant experiences and skills. Create a concise document for your recommenders that lists your experiences and skills relevant to each application. This allows them to provide specific examples that will align with the program's expectations. We will stop our discussion now with the knowledge and strategies necessary to facilitate the customization of your LORs, enhancing the impact of your applications across diverse platforms. Now moving on, the future of LORs and continuous learning. In a world that's constantly evolving, the way we approach letters of recommendation LORs is also changing. LORs are no longer just traditional letters, they're adapting to new formats, incorporating digital literacy, and becoming more dynamic. Let's delve into the future of LORs and how they align with the idea of continuous learning and improvement. As we navigate the future of LORs, it's crucial to stay informed about the latest trends and developments. Here are some key considerations. New formats and platforms LORs are no longer confined to paper. Stay updated on new formats and platforms for LOR submission, such as online portals or specialized recommendation apps. Understand that the way recommendations are presented may change, and be ready to adapt. Digital literacy. In the digital age, digital literacy is paramount. This extends to LORs as well. Understand the importance of digital literacy in the recommendation process. Ensure you're comfortable with using online tools for requesting and submitting LORs. Changing dynamics. Be open to changing dynamics in LORs. Video recommendations and portfolio submissions are gaining popularity. Consider how these new formats can showcase your skills and qualities in a more dynamic way. Utilizing feedback for future applications. Feedback is a valuable resource for personal and professional growth. Here's how you can make the most of it. Seek feedback. Actively. Actively seek feedback from your recommenders. Understand what they appreciated in your past work and areas where you can improve. A willingness to receive constructive feedback shows your commitment to self-improvement. Reflect and apply. Take time to reflect on the feedback you receive. Consider how it aligns with your goals and aspirations. Use these insights to improve future LOR requests, tailoring them to highlight your strengths. Continuous growth view feedback as a means to achieve continuous growth. Embrace the idea that improvement is an ongoing journey. As you progress in your career or educational path, demonstrate in your LORs how you've embraced continuous learning and personal development. Encouraging a culture of continuous learning and improvement LORs can also be a platform for expressing your commitment to continuous learning and improvement. Demonstrate commitment in your LORs. Highlight instances where you've demonstrated your commitment to self-improvement and growth. Showcase your willingness to learn from experiences and adapt to new challenges. Share your journey. Use LORs as an opportunity to share your learning journey. Discuss your experiences, challenges, and how they've shaped your aspirations. Connect your personal and professional growth to your future goals and endeavors. Foster relationships. Maintain strong relationships with individuals who support your continuous learning and improvement. Express gratitude in your LORs to those who have mentored you and contributed to your development. The future of LORs is dynamic, embracing digital formats and reflecting a commitment to continuous learning and improvement. As you navigate this evolving landscape, remember to stay informed, seek feedback, and use LORs as a platform to showcase your growth journey. By embracing change and fostering relationships with mentors and supporters, you can leverage LORs as a tool for success in your future endeavors. Now let's quickly look at a quick recap of what we have discussed so far in the course on how to write a letter of recommendation LOR. We started with the basics. Why are LORs so important? Imagine you're a reviewer. You've got stacks of applications with stellar scores and glowing achievements. But what makes you, as an applicant, stand out? That's where a solid LOR comes in. It's your backstage pass giving the committee a VIP tour of who you are beyond the numbers. Now, you don't just want any LOR, you want one that's as vivid and vibrant as a high-definition movie of your academic journey. To get that, you've got to cultivate relationships early with your mentors, teachers, or bosses. These are the folks who can vouch for your hustle, your heart, and your head. They've seen you in action, overcoming challenges and soaring high on your strengths. When they write your LOR, their words should paint a picture of your character and potential. Preparation is your best friend here. Arm your recommenders with a brilliant resume or a sparkling portfolio that showcases your highlights reel. Make it so compelling that they can't help but write passionately about your achievements. Each university or employer is like a different audience, and they all have their unique preferences for LORs. Some want a sonnet, others a soliloquy. So, get to know these requirements like the back of your hand. Tailor your LOR requests to fit these specs to a T. Timing isn't just everything, it's the only thing. Don't spring a request on your recommender like a pop quiz. Give them the gift of time. Time to reflect on your awesomeness and craft a letter that's as thoughtful as it is thorough. When you do reach out, make it count. Be clear about what you're asking for. Communicate your needs with clarity and courtesy. Remember, you're requesting a favor that can shape your future. Show gratitude for their time and offer all the support they might need. And that's the gist of it. LORs can turn the tide in your favor if done right. Build those bridges early. Prep like a pro. Respect the rules of the game. And when you ask, do it with both confidence and humility. Remember, a great LOR is a story, and you want yours to be a bestseller. First up, let's talk about your dream team of recommenders. You need to hand them the playbook, give them the guidelines, the context, and the color they need to write a letter that does justice to your journey. Share your resume, your aspirations, your why. Paint the picture of your future so they can endorse you with confidence and clarity. Now you might be wondering, what makes a letter more than just good but great? It's about those stories that reveal your grit, those examples that showcase your skills, the narrative that underscores your knack for leadership or your collaborative spirit. A great LoR brings you to life on the page. It's a narrative as compelling as your favorite novel. When it's time to send these letters out into the world, etiquette is key. Whether it's a digital dispatch or a classic letter in the mail, it's about being meticulous with details and timelines. And remember, a respectful nudge can go a long way if your recommender is playing hard to get. A gentle reminder here, a thank you note there. It's all part of the dance. Now, what if your experience is more on the sparse side? Focus on what you do. Have your growth, your potential, your transferable skills. These can come from anywhere: that side project, the summer volunteer gig, the club you led to victory in the trivia championship. And remember, this isn't a one-and-done deal. Feedback is your friend. It's the compass that guides your improvement. Stay in touch with those mentors and networks. Keep that cycle of feedback and learning spinning, because today's LoR is just one step in the marathon of your career. So, to wrap it up, give your recommenders with the right tools. Craft a letter that's as vivid as your vision, mind your submission etiquette, and when the road gets rocky, keep your eyes on the prize and adapt. Because an LoR isn't just about getting through a door, it's about setting the stage for the next chapter of your story.